Most people think low intelligence shows up in grades, IQ tests, or big mistakes, but psychologists say the opposite. Your brain reveals itself in the tiny habits you ignore. And the scariest part? These habits don't just make you look less intelligent. They literally rewire your brain to become less intelligent over time. Your brain is plastic. It adapts to what you feed it. If you feed it laziness, superstitions, and instant dopamine, it shrinks its capacity for logic. I see people every day who are book smart, but are living lives of quiet failure because they are trapped in these psychological loops. Today, we are going to look into the rawest, most brutal psychological truths about why people stay stuck. If you recognize yourself in these, don't panic. Recognition is the first step to redrawing the map. Chapter 1: Magical Thinking. Some people live like luck is in control. They wear the same lucky socks to every exam, avoid cracks in the sidewalk, or swear a color brings them money. Seems harmless, even funny, but psychology calls it magical thinking. This happens when your brain confuses coincidence with cause. Maybe once you wore those socks and something good happened, and now your brain links the two forever. The problem is you're outsourcing logic to superstition. You've stopped asking, where's the evidence? Real intelligence pauses and demands proof. Lower intelligence skips that step and builds rituals out of thin air. When you rely on luck, you stop relying on your own agency. The moment you stop believing you are the cause of your success, your brain stops trying to find real solutions. Chapter 2: Chronic Sleep Neglect. You tell yourself you're fine on 4 hours of sleep. You brag about late nights, scroll until 3 a.m., and crawl out of bed like a zombie. You think you're grinding, but here is the reality. Sleep loss wrecks memory, attention, and decision-making. After just one night without proper rest, your brain works like you're legally drunk. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that makes you human, starts to shut down. Intelligent people guard sleep like treasure because they know it's their greatest tool. Neglecting it isn't strength. It's self-sabotage. If you're proud of your lack of sleep, you're essentially bragging about making yourself dumber. Chapter 3: The Silence Panic. Some people panic at silence. If there's no TV, no music, no background noise, they feel lost. Psychology shows this constant need for distraction often signals weak mental processing. If you can't sit with yourself for 10 minutes without reaching for your phone, that's not social. It's avoidance. You are avoiding the very mental work required to grow. Intelligent minds use solitude for reflection and problem-solving. Lower intelligence hides from silence because it means facing their own thoughts, and their thoughts are either empty or uncomfortable. Chapter 4: The Small Talk Ceiling. Ever met someone who can talk for hours but says nothing? Weather, traffic. Can you believe it's Friday? Small talk is fine as an icebreaker, but if that's all you've got, it signals a lack of curiosity. Psychologists call it a low need for cognition, not enjoying the act of real thinking. Intelligent people crave conversations about ideas, systems, and why things happen. Lower intelligence stays on the surface, moving from one shallow topic to the next. If your conversations haven't changed in 5 years, your brain probably hasn't either. Chapter 15: The Fear of Being Wrong. Finally, the habit that underpins all others: the fear of being wrong. Low intelligence views a mistake as a threat to their identity. They defend their errors until their dying breath. Intelligent people view being wrong as an upgrade. They realize that being wrong is just the process of becoming more right. The moment you stop fearing mistakes is the moment your intelligence begins to skyrocket. Conclusion: Redrawing the map. The truth is, low intelligence isn't about being born smart or not. It's about the invisible habits you repeat every day. Keep them, and your brain slowly rewires itself to stay stuck. Break them, and you'll see your thinking, confidence, and even the way people treat you shift almost instantly. Most people will hear this and scroll away, back to the same habits that keep them average. They'll go back to the magic socks and the 3 a.m. scrolls. But if you're the type who actually wants to rewire your brain and understand psychology at its rawest, then don't just watch. Subscribe. Because every week I break down the brutal psychological truths that nobody tells you, but everyone needs to hear. Stop being a passenger in your own mind. Start being the architect. I'll see you in the next one.